What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Marriage Talk. I'm Martinez.
And I'm Audrey.
Today, we're going to talk about who comes first, your relatives or your spouse. Let's find out.
So these days you see a lot of memes, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever, where it talks about who gets to plate first, who sits in the front seat, who comes first, your mother or your wife, your kids or your husband, like all these different things about who comes first. And today we're going to talk about who comes first in your marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to jump right in like this. Let's start by setting the foundation. Your spouse always comes first.
That's right.
Your spouse is the person you are one with. They are an extension of you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you put you first like you're supposed to, then you put your spouse first. Everything else falls into line afterwards, and you'll notice a smoother transition or a smoother time with your different relationships once you put your marriage as your first priority.
I think that is very important to do that, because if you don't do that, then outsiders will begin to see that they have a way to jump in. There's a way for them to jump in and say, my turn, and I gotta say so. Well, no, you don't. No, you don't. I didn't, or me, for example, I didn't stand up there when I was at the altar with her and all my relatives and saying, to death do us apart. I didn't do that. Or anybody else. You know what I mean? It was just between the wife and the husband.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's what it was. It was us two making a covenant, a divine covenant, a personal, relationship towards each other about it's us. And there's no disrespect to anybody else. There's no disrespect to family members, no disrespect to none of them. It was just the fact that when you're up there and when you're married, it's about y'all two.
Exactly. And I think the problem comes into play where it's people's pride, and we have to put that to rest, and we have to understand that just because I'm in a relationship now doesn't mean that our bond with our relatives is irrelevant or it doesn't exist anymore. It just means that my relationship with my husband is my priority. So the first thing I'll kind of jump into is talking about parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a situation where you say, whether it's your grandmother, your mother, your father, your aunt, whoever raised you and whoever's that special person or special people in your life, you always want to honor them and show them love and respect just because of what they gave to you. However, they never come before your spouse. So that whole who sits in the front seat or whatever, it's going to be your spouse. Now, if they choose to sit in the back seat, that's a choice. But the place by your side should always be your spouse. When you get married, you leave that dynamic of your parents being first. The Bible talks about, you leaving your mother and father, you cleaving to your wife, but also cleaving to your husband.
Yeah.
You're leaving that to join in oneness with your spouse. And does that mean that your parents are no longer special and honored? No, it just means that my wife or my husband is revered above all. This is my covenant partner. So it's not that I am dishonoring my parent, but no, this is me and my wife. My mom opened up the door for you. I'm gonna let you get comfortable back here. You want a little sip of water while you wait? Okay, cool. And then we gonna go to brunch. We're gonna go to lunch. We're gonna go shopping. But the place by my side is always going to be reserved for my spouse.
That's right. And again, it's no disrespect. And the problem is, I think, Audrey, the parents think it's disrespect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. Right. The parents think it's disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't talking about all parents, and there's some parents that understand. There's some parents that understand. But there's some parents that feel like, oh, no. You know what I'm saying? No, she didn't put this B in the front, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they would actually pull the son to the side, or, and vice versa, pull her daughter to the side, like, you gonna let him sit in the front and put me in the back? Like, really? You know what I mean? And it's so petty. It's so petty, and it's so small. And that's why when you are married, you have to, the two, should definitely have an understanding that, hey, it's us and nobody else.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's us, nobody. When our parents dead and gone, it's still us. It's still us. Whatever it is, it's still us. And it have to be a respect level. You know what I'm saying? Even when you talk about parents have something to say. Parents disrespecting your spouse. You know what I mean? Just verbally. Think they can just say whatever they want to say and jump in whatever time they want to jump in to your spouse. That should never be acceptable in your marriage. Never.
Yeah. I remember we talked about it before, but the 3-chord string, like if anybody has ever seen Not Easily Broken, it's supposed to be God and then the husband and the wife.
Yeah.
Not the mother, the father, the auntie, the uncle, the cousin, the friends. Like, no one should have that much power in your marriage outside of you two and God.
That's right.
If somebody else has power to say something about what you're going through, if they have the power to jump in, then you have a problem.
That's right.
That you definitely have a problem in that regard. And so it's like I said, it's about dimming the pride and having that conversation even with your parents to say, listen, we love you, but you are not my number one priority.
That's right.
My spouse is always going to be my number one priority. And from there, we will tackle everything else together.
That's right.
Right. It even brings us to the kids. When you have children or different things, people are like, my kids come first. It's all about my kids, kids. So you dedicated all this time to your kids.
Wow.
And then when they get teenagers or when they get grown and they start to build their own life, and then you sitting there next to Johnny and you don't even know who Johnny is no more. You married him 10, 20 years ago, but you don't know Johnny because you didn't invest in Johnny. You invested so much into your kids that you're distraught and heartbroken. They're moving out. They're leaving. And then you become that parent that don't know how to let go and don't know how to sit yourself in the back seat and simmer down because you put Johnny or sorry if anybody named Johnny, Johnny or your daughter, whoever it is, you put them in that position of right by your side when it should have been your spouse.
Right. And you know what I think? I think a lot of people put their kids on pedestals. They lift him up, and they lift him up to the point that they lift him above their spouse. And they forget about their spouse. And what happened is their kids and what they say matter more than what their spouse say.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And that right there automatically cause a rip or a tear in your marriage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you have to understand that, we're not saying the kid's voice doesn't matter. No, we never say that. You know what I mean? But we understand that when the kids are grown, when you said it, thank you, Audrey. When the kids are grown, they living their own lives, it is just you two. It is just you two. It's always going to be you two. Unless you put the kids in front. And 9 times out of 10, when the kids are in front, the other spouse feel like, dang, she investing so much into the kids. I mean, I might as well go do something else. And what happened is when that person go do something else, whether it's the husband or the wife, go do something else, that person tends to get into things they shouldn't get into. They start dabbing into things they shouldn't ever doing. But if they was getting that same respect, that same attention from their spouse, they would have never went out. They would have never had to go sideways. They would have never met that person or anything or start doing other things. And then you look up and you look at your spouse and you looking at them like, what happened?
Right. Yeah. And we're never saying that, it's their fault that they did what they did.
No.
Let's be clear. Like he said, they should never have. Making it clear that it's their fault for doing it. But when you push a person away, when you basically are telling that person you're not important to me, it's all about them and you after the fact. Instead of I'm investing into you, you're investing into me, and again, together we are investing into our children.
That's right.
other than that, if you keep pushing them away, if you keep acting like you can wait, listen, the Bible say give no room to the enemy. What
That's
happens? He gonna send the thing that you looking for, that place where you're empty at.
Yes.
And it's going to come at you.
Yes,
it happens all the time.
Yes, it is.
And that is why we have to be careful to protect our union.
That's it.
Putting each other first is not a selfish or a mean thing to anybody else, but it's a protective barrier that says, you know that I love you, I know that you love me. We have built a solid foundation, and then we're going to go out into the world and we're going to tackle it together.
That's right.
Because if you don't, when you get out there, anything can break you apart because you haven't built anything solid to stand on. So yeah, when this beautiful thing or this handsome thing comes walking by and they're giving you the conversation or the attention or the whatever you're looking for, you don't want to dishonor your union, but you feel empty.
Yeah. Yeah.
You feel unfulfilled.
That's right.
Your love tank is not full.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, let me go fill up then.
Been dry for a long time.
So it's one of those things, it's a protective measure to say, listen, I love you, you love me. We're going to protect each other. I'm going to give you what you need. You're going to give me what I need. You come first.
That's it. Yeah.
Because I promise, I stood in front of God, my family, friends, and said, I love you above all else.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to show you that. And because of that, when it comes to the kids, they're not necessarily secondary, they're just on a different level, because we have to have enough within us to be able to give to them.
That's right.
And I think that's the biggest thing, is understanding the roles that everybody plays, that no position is less than the other.
That's right.
However, this one is the foundation, and if the foundation is not secure, we can't build. You know, so that's the biggest thing about that. But I want us to move into, you mentioned about people having a say-so in your marriage.
Yeah.
I don't understand how people feel comfortable speaking to other people's spouses, or how I heard somebody before talking to somebody else's spouse like out of turn.
Yeah.
And they was both like tag teaming. And I was sitting there like, I might say something to you, but I'd be doggone if somebody else say something to my man. Now, what is going on? I never understood that, but that's because their friend came before their spouse.
And you know what? That's another big thing, where friends, cousins, brothers, aunties, whatever it is, etc. You know what I mean? What happened is they felt like they was there first, right? And they felt like because they was there first, they felt like I shouldn't have to, I don't have to respect that because my position is solidified or my position is solid. No, it's not. No, it's not. You lost it. You lost it. You know, real fast. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not about that. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of, like I said, from friends and relatives and cousins, whatever it is, etc., they don't understand the fact that it's us. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel like, oh, well, I was here first. I shouldn't have to do like, I shouldn't have to, you know, flip flop or switch up what we establish as cousins or brothers or sisters or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a disrespect thing. It's just a respect thing of what your cousin or brother or auntie or whatever it is got going on. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of them have to understand that it's not about your position being threatened. It's not about, oh, well, they choosing their spouse over. Well, we are.
Yeah.
We are. We are choosing over you. Yeah. I mean, you're supposed to, though.
Exactly.
And it's not that when we say choose over you, like you're the lesser person. That doesn't mean that.
Right.
That just means that we is going to attend to our spouse first before we come to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all that means.
Yeah. It's like when you talk about, you tend to your own home before you can go out and do something to somebody else.
Exactly.
Say charity and love and all that stuff begins at home. You know what I'm saying? He's home for me. So I'm never going to say, oh, okay, well, yeah, listen, we was rocking since we was in diapers, baby. You know what I'm saying? So I love you, but my cousin come. No. when I gave up, like Tyler Perry said, you give up the I for us.
Hello.
When I became a us.
That's right.
And so he's a part of me. So that means me taking care of him is taking care of me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, because this is the covenant relationship. This is that bond. People say till death do us part. He's stuck with me for eternity. He just needs to deal with that fact, okay? He just needs to understand that, because I don't agree with that. I'm not starting over, period.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not. But no, overall, what it's saying is that I still love my relatives.
Mm-hmm.
We can still rock. We can still hang out.
That's right.
That doesn't stop us from loving each other. But just like how you have to put yourself first, self-care, you have to put your marriage first. Because when the hard times come, when you need somebody to pray you through, when you need somebody to love you, when you're at your ugliest, that's supposed to be your spouse.
That's right.
That's supposed to be that person that says, I got you. I've taken all of you and put you into my heart, and I'm keeping you safe, and I'm going to be here with you.
Mm-hmm.
Your relationship with each other is supposed to signify the way that God loves us and his relationship with us. If we let every Tom, Dick, and Harry have a say-so or come first, that's not the way God ordained for it to be. That's the
right.
highest level of relationship that you can have on this earth is between a man and a woman. It's a spiritual, a physical, a mental, and an emotional connection with your spouse.
That's right.
So it's not to say that, like he said, anybody else is lesser than. It's just that this one comes first because of my health and my well-being, because I pledged my life to you.
That's right.
You know?
And you know what? I think that's what it really means to be in a marriage, when you are understanding each other and building that foundation. And when you're building that foundation, sometimes you have outsiders that feel like they can step on your foundation. They can come in, they can say so. And when you're in the building part, no, move out the way. You know what I mean? No, this is what we're doing. No, this is what's happening. And I think a lot of times, a lot of family members or friends or whatever, etc., feel like, or your homies, or you know what I'm saying, or you know, same thing as friends, you know, they feel like that they're not in the back seat, you know what I'm saying? And they have to understand that your spouse come first. And it's normally it's those people that ain't married. They got something to say. It's normally those people that ain't never did this. They got something to say. But those that's married will hopefully understand that this is it right here, and nobody else.
Yeah.
You know.
And even when some people aren't married, I think it's the people who are unhappy.
Yeah.
The people who are unhappy and the people who don't feel valued in their state of being, then they feel like, well, I should feel valued with this. One thing I learned, whether you're married or whether you're single, you have to find value in yourself. You have to find love in yourself, and you can't think that, oh, well, you're supposed to put me first, or I'm supposed to be first. You're supposed to celebrate.
That's right.
With the people that you love. You're supposed to uphold and support their union and say, listen, go fix it with your husband. Don't come talking to me about that. Go fix it with your husband. Go fix it with your wife. I love you, bro. I love you, sis, but that's y'all.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it's the people that are unhappy or unfulfilled within themselves that they build up this thing where they need to feel it from an outside source. So then they come in to yours. Those are those broken people. So you have to be careful to protect your union. Yes, your spouse comes first. Yes, I serve my husband before I serve my kids. But guess what? It ain't well, what if it ain't enough? He makes sure it's enough.
That's right. That's right. Talk that talk.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It should never be, well, my kids eat first because just in case it's not enough. No. He makes sure it's enough.
That's right.
He makes sure it's enough. And if our parents are in the building, I'm still going to serve him first, and then I'll serve parents or whatever like that, or we'll do it together, serve our parents, and then whatever. But it's always us.
Yes.
Always us.
Yes. So I really, you know, like the fact that during this conversation, you know, a lot of things was said and talked about, and sometimes it need to be talked about because a lot of people just bypass it and don't say nothing, or I'll get back to it, or whatever it is. And sometimes you just gotta hit it right where it, right where it's supposed to be. So I think that we hit on a lot of areas. Hopefully they listen to it. Well, no, they will listen to it.
Yes, I hope you guys take what we have to say.
That's right.
Use it for good.
Yes.
We're not coming for anybody.
No, we're not.
Like he said several times.
That's right.
We're not disrespecting anybody.
That's right.
But if we're going to do marriage, which is ordained by God, which is a covenant set by God, then we have to do it his way. And it's that way for a reason. Because when you two are together, everything else flows smoothly and you get a better result. That's right. So we're not going to talk your ear off about it, because you know how we can get down. We appreciate you for watching and for listening. If you have additional comments, questions, or suggestions, feel free to let us know down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell.
Yes.
And follow us on Instagram at the official Bears Talk.
That's right. That's right. Until the end, we love you. God bless you. Remember, keep God's first. See you.
Bye. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss a video.
Feel free to leave a comment, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram at The Official Marriage Talk. Until next time, see you later.